2025 Yamaha R15 V5 is here, and even though it's a smaller displacement motorcycle compared to what many riders in the United States are used to, it's still one of the most interesting machines Yamaha has to offer. The R15 series has built a reputation internationally as a true entry-level sport bike that feels like a baby R1, packed with advanced technology and styling that looks like it belongs on a much larger machine. Now with the 5th generation arriving for 2025, Yamaha has refined nearly every element of the package, making it sleeker, sharper, and more advanced than ever before. For American riders, it represents a lightweight sport bike that could serve as an exciting beginner's machine, a stylish commuter, or even a track day toy for those who want something manageable yet thrilling. At first glance, the styling of the R15 V5 immediately communicates its intent. Yamaha has clearly drawn inspiration from its bigger siblings, particularly the R7 and the R1. The aggressive LED headlamp, flanked by distinctive daytime running lights, gives the bike a focused, almost predatory look. The fairings are sculpted with aerodynamic efficiency in mind, featuring sharper lines and more defined angles compared to the V4. The bodywork hugs the chassis tightly, with air channels and vents that aren't just for aesthetics but also help with cooling and stability at higher speeds. The tail section is slim and pointed, capped by a minimalistic LED taillight and a split-seat setup that enhances its supersport character. Even standing still, the bike looks ready to pounce, and for many riders in the States who appreciate sharp design and premium finishes, this is a head-turner. The riding position is unapologetically sporty. Once you swing a leg over, you immediately notice the clip-on handlebars set low, the rear-set foot pegs, and the forward-leaning stance that tucks you into the machine. This isn't a laid-back commuter bike, it's a sport bike through and through. The rider's seat is relatively firm, designed more for feedback and control than long-haul comfort, while the pillion seat is elevated and minimal, as if to remind you that the bike's primary purpose is solo enjoyment. The cockpit greets you with a new full-color TFT display, crisp and modern, offering everything from gear position to fuel efficiency, engine temperature, and potentially even smartphone connectivity through Yamaha's app integration. It feels premium, something you wouldn't expect on a motorcycle of this displacement, and it reinforces the R15's reputation as a small bike that doesn't cut corners on technology. Powering the R15 V5 is the familiar but refined 155cc liquid-cooled, single-cylinder engine with Yamaha's variable valve actuation system. For riders unfamiliar with VVA, it essentially allows the engine to adjust valve timing depending on RPM, providing stronger torque at lower revs while still allowing the motor to breathe freely at higher speeds. The result is an engine that feels flexible in the city yet eager to scream at the top end when the road opens up. Output figures hover around 18 to 19 horsepower, with torque in the neighborhood of 14 to 15 Nm, which may not sound like much in a country used to bikes with triple-digit horsepower, but paired with the lightweight chassis, it's enough to deliver a spirited ride. The 6-speed gearbox is smooth and precise, aided by an assist and slipper clutch that makes downshift seamless and prevents rear-wheel hop during aggressive braking. On higher trims, a quick shifter is available, giving riders clutchless upshifts that feel straight out of a supersport playbook. The chassis is built around Yamaha's Delta Box frame, a design that prioritizes rigidity and balance. It provides the rider with excellent feedback and confidence, whether you're carving through a canyon road or weaving through city traffic. Up front, upside-down forks give the bike a premium touch and improved stability under braking, while the rear monoshock is tuned to balance sporty responsiveness with everyday comfort. Braking duties are handled by discs at both ends, supported by dual-channel ABS, ensuring safety and control even under hard stops. The tires are sport radials with a wide enough profile to inspire confidence in corners while keeping the bike nimble and quick to flick side to side. When it comes to real-world performance, the R15 V5 is more than the sum of its parts. On city streets, the bike is agile and responsive, darting through gaps in traffic and handling stop-and-go conditions with ease. The lightweight nature makes it unintimidating for newer riders, yet the sharp chassis and rev-happy motor give experienced riders something to smile about. Out on the highway, the R15 can cruise comfortably at legal speeds, though its small displacement means it doesn't have the reserve power of larger motorcycles for extended high-speed runs. But take it to a twisty back road or a small track and it shines. The bike comes alive when leaned over, rewarding smooth inputs with stable, predictable handling. This is where Yamaha's engineering really makes itself known. The R15 feels like a scaled-down supersport, not just a dressed-up commuter. Technology plays a big role in the V5's appeal. In addition to the TFT dash and possible smartphone connectivity, Yamaha has added traction control on certain variants, a feature that's rare in this class. This provides an added layer of safety, especially useful for new riders or when riding in less than ideal conditions. Riding modes may also be available, allowing you to tailor throttle response to suit your environment, whether it's a relaxed commute or a spirited canyon blast. Combined with the assist and slipper clutch, dual-channel ABS, and optional quick shifter, the R15 V5 punches well above its weight in the electronics department. For American riders, the R15 V5 occupies a unique niche. In a market dominated by larger displacement motorcycles, a 155cc sport bike might seem out of place. But there's a growing interest in smaller bikes, especially among new riders, urban commuters, and enthusiasts who want something light and playful for weekend rides or track days. The R15 could serve as a perfect beginner bike, offering approachable performance without overwhelming power. It could also appeal to experienced riders who already own a larger machine but want a lightweight second bike for fun, efficiency, or practice. In cities where traffic and parking are challenges, the R15 makes even more sense, combining stylish looks with practical usability. Of course, no bike is without drawbacks. The aggressive riding position, while exhilarating on twisty roads, can be tiring during long commutes or highway stints. The rear seat is more symbolic than practical, making two-up riding uncomfortable for passengers. At higher speeds, wind protection is limited compared to larger fairing-equipped bikes. And while the engine is peppy for its size, it will feel underpowered if you're used to middleweight or leader-class machines. Maintenance is straightforward but slightly more involved than a basic commuter due to the advanced features like VVA and the high-revving nature of the engine. Still, Yamaha's reliability record is strong, and ownership costs remain reasonable. Pricing will be critical in determining the R15's success in the US market. Internationally, the bike sits in a premium spot within the entry-level sport bike category. If Yamaha manages to keep pricing competitive in the States, the R15 could attract a wide range of riders who want cutting-edge features without breaking the bank. It will compete with bikes like the Kawasaki Ninja 400, KTM RC 390, and Honda CBR 500R in terms of buyer attention, even though those machines are larger in displacement. What the R15 offers is not brute power but finesse, technology, and style that make it stand out in a crowded segment. In the end, the 2025 Yamaha R15 V5 isn't about raw numbers. It's about the experience of riding a bike that feels like a proper sport machine in every detail. From the sharp design to the advanced electronics, from the rev-happy engine to the razor-sharp chassis, the R15 delivers a package that's both accessible and aspirational. For new riders, it's a gateway into the world of sport bikes, offering thrills without intimidation. For seasoned riders, it's a reminder that fun doesn't have to come from massive horsepower but from balance, control, and engagement. Yamaha has once again raised the bar for what a small displacement sport bike can be, and the R15 V5 proves that sometimes less really is more. So whether you're looking for your very first sport bike, a stylish commuter that makes every ride feel special, or a lightweight machine that can tear up a track without scaring you, the 2025 Yamaha R15 V5 is worth a serious look. It may not be the biggest, the fastest, or the most powerful bike on the market, but it delivers something just as valuable: pure, unfiltered riding enjoyment in a package that's affordable, reliable, and undeniably cool. The 2025 Harley-Davidson Sportster S is not just another year's iteration, it's Harley's bold declaration that the Sportster name will never fade quietly into the background. From the moment you see it, the stance demands your attention. Low-slung and muscular, with a front tire that looks almost oversized compared to the sleek frame, it exudes attitude. The Sportster S has always been a departure from the classic Harley cruiser silhouette, and in 2025 it leans even harder into its role as a performance-driven powerhouse with styling to match. At the heart of the bike lies the Revolution Max 1250T engine, a liquid-cooled DOHC V-twin that represents Harley-Davidson's leap into modern performance. This is not the old air-cooled pushrod twin of past Sportsters. This is a sophisticated, high-revving, liquid-cooled brute that churns out 121 horsepower and about 93 pound-feet of torque. Those numbers don't just look good on paper. They translate into a visceral ride that throws you back in the seat the moment you twist the throttle. The torque arrives early and stays strong, with peak punch hitting at around 6,000 RPM and horsepower cresting at 7,500. That wide, usable band means you don't have to wring it out to feel the rush. But if you do, the reward is a thrilling surge that keeps pulling long after many cruisers would already be gasping for air. The engine itself is a centerpiece of the styling. Finished in a mix of gloss and matte black, it sits in the frame like a piece of modern industrial art. The cylinders, the covers, the exhaust headers all communicate muscle and grit without resorting to flashy chrome. Harley designers chose a balance of stealth and presence, something that looks equally menacing under the neon glow of city lights as it does gleaming in daylight. On the tank sits a new checkered V medallion, a subtle but deliberate nod to the Sportster's racing-inspired heritage. It's not loud or garish, but it's a detail you notice, one that reinforces the Sportster-S identity as a bridge between performance and legacy. Climb onto the bike and you immediately sense how Harley wants you to feel. The seating position is aggressive but not punishing. The foot controls are forward set, giving you a stretched-out stance, but the bars are wide and slightly pulled back, allowing you to command the road without straining your shoulders. The seat itself has been improved over earlier versions, with thicker padding and contouring designed for longer stints. It's not a lounge chair, it's a sport cruiser saddle, but it hits a sweet spot between style and comfort. Handling has taken a notable step forward in the 2025 Sportster S. The bike rides on a beefy 17-inch front tire that anchors the look, while the rear keeps its fat 16-inch rubber. The real news is the suspension upgrade. Showa 43mm inverted forks remain up front, fully adjustable for preload, rebound, and compression, but the rear shock now delivers 3.2 inches of travel, 60% more than before. That translates into a smoother, more controlled ride, particularly over uneven pavement. Importantly, Harley managed to improve suspension performance without raising the seat height, so riders still get that low, grounded feeling. The result is a Sportster S that feels less harsh over bumps and more confidence-inspiring through corners. Braking is equally confidence-boosting, with Brembo hardware handling the stopping duties. A single 320mm disc with a 4-piston radial caliper up front and a 216mm disc at the rear might sound simple on paper, but in practice the setup delivers strong, predictable bite. Add in Harley's suite of rider safety enhancements, cornering ABS, traction control, drag torque slip control, and you have a machine that doesn't just go fast, it stops and stays planted when you push it hard. The electronics package elevates the experience further. Front and center is a 4-inch full-color TFT display, crisp and bright in all conditions. Through it you can select ride modes, check performance metrics, and access navigation when paired with your phone. Connectivity via Bluetooth allows music and calls to run through your helmet headset, blending technology into the ride without pulling focus away from the road. Standard cruise control is a welcome touch, especially when the Sportster S is asked to cover longer highway stretches. While it's built to be a rowdy performance cruiser, it's still capable of settling into a relaxed rhythm when you want it to. Styling details push the 2025 model further into premium territory. The paint choices this year include traditional solid tones and a striking new factory custom color called Mystery Shift. This finish seems alive, shifting from dark metallic hues to vibrant purples or blues depending on light and angle. It's the kind of paint that makes you walk around the bike twice, catching different shades every step. Combined with blacked-out mechanicals and bold design lines, it makes the Sportster S look futuristic without abandoning its muscular cruiser roots. Of course, Harley couldn't resist adding a bit of flair beyond the showroom floor. In collaboration with Bethesda, they created a one-off Sportster S themed after the video game Doom. With glowing red tires, demonic styling cues, and otherworldly lighting elements, it's not road legal, but it is a reminder that Harley is willing to have fun with the Sportster platform. It underscores how much personality this bike has, and how easily it can become a canvas for creativity. On the road, the Sportster S is a blend of raw energy and composure. Twist the throttle and the Revolution Max engine delivers immediate surge, the bike leaping forward with authority. Through corners, the wide tires and updated suspension make it feel sure-footed, even when you push harder than you'd expect from a Harley cruiser. The lean angles are respectable for a low-slung machine, and while the riding position isn't track day aggressive, the chassis rewards spirited handling. It's a bike that wants you to attack the next stretch of pavement but won't punish you when the ride turns into a laid-back cruise. Practicality may not be the first word you associate with the Sportster S, but Harley has made it friendlier in that regard too. The improved suspension means you're less likely to dread rough city streets. The TFT display, USB-C charging, and Bluetooth functionality ensure modern convenience. The addition of standard safety features gives peace of mind, especially for riders who plan to use it as more than just a weekend toy. Even the pricing has been adjusted to feel more accessible, starting at around $15,999, which places it competitively within the performance cruiser category while still feeling like a premium Harley-Davidson product. Where the Sportster S really shines is in its ability to deliver something different from the rest of the Harley lineup. It doesn't feel like a scaled-down Softail or a cut-price touring bike. It feels like its own machine, proud of its heritage yet unafraid to carve out a new lane. For riders who grew up loving Harley's rebellious image but also demand modern performance and tech, the Sportster S is a bridge between two worlds. The 2025 Harley-Davidson Sportster S is more than just a motorcycle. It's a signal of where Harley wants to go. It's fast, muscular, and unapologetically modern, yet it still carries the soul of the Sportster name that's been around for over 6 decades. It's a machine that encourages you to twist the throttle a little harder, lean a little deeper, and ride a little longer, all while turning heads at every stoplight. This bike doesn't want to be parked in the garage as a piece of nostalgia. It wants to be ridden, pushed, and experienced. When the Revolution Max engine growls beneath you, when the suspension soaks up the road, when the paint catches the light and changes color before your eyes, you realize this isn't just about horsepower or design. It's about making a connection between rider and machine, a connection that feels alive and dynamic every mile of the way. The 2025 Sportster S proves that Harley-Davidson is capable of honoring tradition while embracing innovation. It has the style to grab attention, the performance to thrill, the technology to compete, and the character to stay true to its roots. For anyone who has ever wondered whether Harley could build a cruiser that's as much about agility and speed as it is about attitude, the answer is sitting right here, idling, waiting for the light to turn green.